Hi everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book review for Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars and I really enjoyed this. I learned a lot. So this follows the story of Darius, and he is of American and Iranian descent. And in this story, Darius has depression and anxiety. So one day, Darius and his family go to Iran because Darius's grandfather has cancer, and so they're going to see him a final time. While he is in Iran, he meets a boy, Sarab, who kind of befriends him, and their friendship blossoms and they learn more about each other and their cultures. And overall, I just thought this was a really good story. I really found it interesting that when Darius is talking about Farsi, he explains little nuances of the language, how some words, when you use it one way, may mean one thing, and when you use it another way, it may mean something else. So it's very contextual. And I also enjoyed the exploration of the cultural stigma around mental health and depression in Iran. It's something that, at least in this book, is very misunderstood or not well known about. A lot of people frequently ask him, what do you have to be so depressed about? You live in America, you have a good life. You know, look at everyone around you. These people have a much better reason to be depressed than you do. So it was definitely a good exploration and a good illustration of how depression can affect anyone. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic status, your gender, your sexuality, anything. It's undiscriminatory. I also enjoyed Darius as a character. He's very nerdy and he's witty and he's funny, and he watches Star Trek with his dad and he knows all about The Hobbit, and I loved that. It also explores his relationship with his dad. So his dad also has depression. The two of them have a very regimented medication schedule, and it also illustrates how when you're on mental health medication, it's very important to stay on a schedule so that you can help control your mood swings or your depression, and you're not throwing anything out of whack. So there's a lot of scenes of them in the morning just taking their medicine, and then when they do that in Iran, it opens up those conversations about mental health and the stigma around it in Iran and America. One thing I noticed that I thought was a good writing tool was Darius's relationship with his dad isn't the best, just because most of the time they can be kind of cold or distant to each other. So frequently he refers to his dad as Stephen Kellner, his proper name, instead of calling him dad or my father. But then in the moments that he was really connecting with his dad, he would call him dad or refer to him as my father. So I thought that was a really good nuance to show how relationships, you know, you can like your parents one day and not like them the next day. It's part of life. Another thing I really liked is it referred to a kind of colloquialism or a saying in Iran, and it was, your place is empty, which means I miss you. And I thought that was a really cool way to say that, and I thought it was a lot more impactful than just saying I miss you. Like, just saying your place is empty, like you were noticeably missed. I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but I really related a lot with this book. I have dealt with depression for at least 10 or 11 years now, and some days it's easy to deal with and some days it is a struggle, and it's definitely important to stay on top of your medication. So I definitely related to Darius, and I think he's very endearing because of that. The afterword from the author had some things that I really liked, and so I thought it was really a good way to tie everything together because it's an own voices novel, so the author does have depression. So he said, I wanted to show how depression can affect a life without ruling it. Depression takes different shapes for different people. For me, it took the shape of comfort eating a lot. It took the shape of avoiding school for a month because I couldn't drag myself out of bed and face the morning. It took the shape of not doing my homework because I couldn't see the point in anything. Living with depression can mean getting stuck in cycles of misunderstood motives, of imagining the worst in people, or thinking they are imagining the worst in you. It can mean pushing people away because you don't think you're worth their time. It can mean taking medication to stay alive, to combat self-harm or suicidal ideation. Even if it dulls parts of yourself you don't realize are there, it's absolutely worth it. It can mean imagining that the people who love you will never love you enough. And I thought all of that was just so true and mirrored a lot of my experience with depression. So I think if you do have depression and anxiety, I think this book will really resonate with you. And it's also great because the main character is intersectional. You get to learn about a culture different than your own. And I am always all for reading diverse books. So I highly, highly recommend this. Definitely go check this out. If you have read it, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you like or hate about it? As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. Make sure you click the bell icon so that you can be notified anytime I upload new content. See you guys next time. Bye.